morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Instagram viewers. Good morning, Facebook viewers. Good morning to everybody. Today is a beautiful day. It's that beginning of the week. It's that Monday. And for the viewers, I have good news. We broke the 100 view mark on the video that I did on death. Um, I wish it was a more positive video that would have, broken that mark. But, again, we don't live in a world where everything is positive. So, education is always key. Today's video, I want to speak about a subject, which is, why and how, we hold on to things from the past. So why is it important to let go of the past? Well, today's story is a true story, and more and more I'm going to get to tell true stories, based on other people's lives, based on my lives, but this is all true stuff that's coming in this story. And the story has to do with a day at the airport. So when I was in third grade, we went to the local airport, and they brought all the students to the local airport. So the planes were so small. Anyone that lives in a small town, you see the small planes flying, you know that they can only hold like maybe three, maybe four people. Well, in our situation, we had a pilot, the pilot, the teacher, and two students. So, the plane would take us up in the air, take us around the circle, around the airport, then land, and then put two more on and do the same thing. Well, when it was my turn to get onto the plane, we were flying, and the engine shut off. It shut off way up in the air. And the plane was just going down. So where the airport was, there was a lake. And I remember, them saying to the plane, try to aim it towards the lake. Meaning, as a kid, I'm thinking about it now. It's like, hey, if you got to crash in that lake. And that's understandable. But, fortunately, we were fortunate enough that the plane had restarted while we were in the air, and we were able to, fly back to the airport and fly to safety. But the experience for me, I look back at it as one of the experiences, because we have multiple experiences that, hold us back, that we experience, growing up. And I remember, I don't know if they were screaming. I don't know, what it was like, if it was chaotic. All I know is, for me as a kid, time stopped. And I said to myself, I said that if I ever got off this plane, I would never get on another plane again. And I never did. And that's what this is about. Because there's all different types of situations in life. There's childhood trauma. Um, there can be bullying, there can be abuse, there can be like in my experience, being on a plane and having the plane shut off. These are things that stay with you for the rest of your incidences that stay with you for the rest of your life. So, today's topic is fitting, that, I'm going to explain how, what was lost by that type of mentality. Because as I got older, I said, not only will I not get on a plane, I will not get on a boat either. So I never got on a boat, a ship. Well, I did get on a boat, but I'm going to explain that later. And not a ship, a boat. Um, uh, the As far as planes go, I remember one time where, me and, my ex and our children, we were going to go to Disney World. And, you know, everything was paid for, but I just couldn't get on the plane. I mean, I literally could not move. And that was money down the drain, a lot of money down the drain. And, I look back at that now, and I realized that that was due to my fear. And another incident is when I lived in Washington State, and I was offered a job on the greatest, the greatest catch, where they go out to the sea, to the, Bering Sea, and they're going after all these, super crabs and super fish. Well, mine was a cod ship. So, they would catch the fish, and I would just fillet the fish as they bought the fish off of the ship for packaging. So, the job paid good money, and I needed that job, but I had to fly and it was a half-hour flight. I had to fly from Washington State into Alaska, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it, and I look back and I lost out on an opportunity. Number one, because, you know, even if didn't fly, I still had to get on a boat. I was willing to get on a boat, but I wasn't willing to fly. So that was another place that hindered me. And lastly, uh, I have this one written down. But lastly, uh, just the fact of not being able to do these things, you lose time wise. Okay, that was it, time wise. So now, every time that I would go travel to Washington State, I always drove. Whenever I would travel out to the East Coast, and anyone who's done that, it takes 3 to 4 days. Whereas if you get on a plane, you're there in less than a few hours. So those are the other places where, not letting go of things, hinder you from, something better, opportunity. So how does that affect us? It affects us because, most people are in relationships, and most people, even in social circles, we all think that, we know someone, that we're always there for someone, and, that no matter what, that a person can, be open with you. And when the person, or, the situation is not an open situation, where there is something that's being held back, um, you feel like it's your fault. So what I'm here to say today is, on this positive thing, is that, we all carry something. We all carry something that's traumatic, or we all carry an incident in our life which holds us back. It could be a bad relationship. Um, because I've met people who said, "Oh, I'll never date a black person, or I'll never date a white person, or I'll never date a Latin person. I'll never date, no matter what the race of the person is, just because, one person, the interaction with that person didn't turn out the right way." And it doesn't just have to be a relationship. It could be, job situation. It could be your boss. So you just turn around and you just don't like, all the people, because of it. So those are ways that we hold things, and this is the baggage that we carry. And, part of letting go and freeing yourself is, um, it makes you a better person. But not only does it make you a better person, it makes you lighter. Your stress levels are down, and that's an important thing, because the better you, and the better calm you, and the better stable you there is, the better you are for other people. Even if you have to suppress things, that hold you back, you're still able to continue to go forward. And by going forward, use today. Let today be this first start, because, for every day that we have held on to these things. Say we held on to them. In my case, say I held on to this ever since third grade. It wasn't until the past, 10 years, where I got on a boat, and I knew that I had to do something to break this, because I said, if there's one thing holding you back, then you're never truly free. But there were a lot of things holding me back. So I had to start overcoming each one of those things, because it took years in order to carry this bag. Everybody has a bag on their back. How full that bag is depends on the person. So each one, I made it a choice. I said, I'm going to fight for me. So the first thing I did was get on a boat. I went out on a boat, and as long as I could see the shore and swim back to land, I would get on a boat. And then that was the first time. So I only been 3 times on a boat since I've in life. 3 times. The first time was uh, uh, I would say maybe 14 years ago. No, I'd say, yeah, about 10 years ago. My bad. 10 years ago. So 10 years ago was the first time I got on a small boat, went to a small lake, and that was a friend who said, we're gonna break your fear. He said, I'll stay close to the shore. So that kind of I said, okay. It still made me nervous. I still was kind of shaky over it because anyone who has a phobia knows how serious a phobia is and what it can do to you physically. So, I was going through everything on that boat. So it was easier the next time where I got invited fishing. That's another thing that, you lose out on. I had friends with, boats, nice boats where, I could have gone deep sea fishing, which I love fishing, and I wasn't able to do it. Um, so the last time that I was on a ship, it was for a friend. It was in a boat. It was like a cargo ship that goes across the sound. It carries cars across the sound. But the whole time that I was there, I wouldn't get out of my seat. I wouldn't get out of my seat from when it started, from when I got on until when I got off. I wouldn't go outside, and but I made it. I made it. I went on there, and it was rough. And then after that, I said, I'm saying, thinking right before COVID, maybe 2 years ago, uh, I did some research, and what the research showed is, if you have fears in your life, most people will say to do something daring, and I find that most people, mostly wealthy people, to overcome fear, they'll jump out of a plane. And when I ask people, would they ever think about jumping out of a plane, they'd be like, no. So I'm like, that's something for me. I would like to do. I'd like to jump out of a plane as soon as possible, parachute, get over fears, and be able to move forward. So, this is a positive message for everyone today to say that, we're in this together. And, thank you to all the females who have, come onto this channel because it is showing up now that, you guys are here. And that's what we want. We want your input because we need to work together. You know, Yesterday I was saying to a person, that I was a bad boy, growing up, which I was a bad boy growing up. And, the person was like, I never knew this about you. So my thing was how this applies to today and why this topic came to be was because, I always thought that that person did know, how bad I was. I always thought that that person, who I I really liked at the time. I kind of thought that, that person was like all the rest, where they would say, oh, he's bad, or stay away from him. He's a bad boy. And after all these years, to find out that all that stuff was in my head, that that the person didn't feel this way, and many instances how we sabotage things in our lives because we hold on to things, and sometimes those things aren't visible to other people. They're in us, so we have to realize how much damage we do to ourselves by holding on to different things. But we're here to let those things go. We're here to grow. We're here to become better people. And I want that to be, our positive Monday. As you can see, I'm always going to try to bring you out to, somewhere nice, somewhere peace, somewhere tranquil. Today is that Monday. And, find something beautiful. Find something and focus on it. And, like I said, each day we get rid of something from that bag. So once again, I want to say click like, subscribe. Thank all of the viewers that are coming from overseas. You're 20% of our views. So for everybody who's coming from another country, you guys have an awesome day. And I'm going to do a video especially for you. Um, so we got good topics that are coming up this week. We got validation. We have friendship again, and some of them we're gonna touch back on some of the earlier videos and add on to them. So you're gonna be seeing some part twos coming out, and I'm not gonna hold you. I want everyone to have an awesome day. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and peace, blessings, and have an awesome, awesome birthday. I keep saying that, but yes, it's Monday. We're gonna do that. If I could say good morning to everybody all day, I'd say good morning. Because it's such a beautiful word, and and it's always a good thing to hear that someone cares about you in the morning. And we here on this channel, we care. We want everyone to have the best day. Um, Besa Clara Ward, it was your birthday over this past weekend. I want to say a belated happy birthday to you. I want to say a happy belated birthday to Conrad Glover, an awesome guy, a film producer, writer, multi-talented gentleman. Um, Happy birthday and have many more. And with that, I want to say click, like, subscribe, and peace and blessings.
Oh.